Hey there, my name's Kiri and I'm a flower farmer here in Western Washington in Zone 8A. And today I'm outside. I spent most of the morning weeding. Finally weeded everything, got rid of the blackberries that are trying to take over again. And I'm out here because I had an idea. So I'm moving the flower farm up to the front. If you saw my last video, you saw that I have been cover cropping over there. I kind of realized that those 4 beds, they may not be ready on time. That's the first problem. So I kind of want to have a contingency plan for that. And the second thing I was thinking about is if I'm not going to use this back area for flower farming next year, why would I just get rid of everything? So hear me out. So I am planning to turn this into grass next year. This will be like our backyard. But a lot of these plants are cool flowers or tender perennials in my zone. So that includes Rudbeckia hirta, which is this Cherokee Sunset one. Apparently, most people treat this as an annual, but it is technically a perennial. So I'm gonna leave it. Like, why not? I don't need this space. I'm not planning to use this space for flower production. So I'm gonna do a little tester and leave some of the things that will perennialize. It's kind of a win-win because if they don't survive, like whatever, I wasn't counting on them. And if they do, extra blooms. The plants that I know will perennialize are pincushion or scabiosa flowers. I have a sampler over there. I'll show you real quick. Here we're at the retaining wall garden where my peonies are. And this scabiosa I started from seed last spring. This plant perennialized over the winter. I didn't protect it. I just left it out here by itself. And it has produced quite a few flowers. I haven't even cut on it. That was a tester, and now I know those survive in our climate. So that's a perennial for me. Other perennials for me are lilies. These have been in the ground for a couple years, and gladiolus. You'll see that they are naturally just blooming in their own kind of succession. So working out for me. And the other plant, if you can see it back here, is snapdragon. So these are 2 years old. They survived the winter just fine, and they gave me flowers 3 to 4 weeks before my Potomac and Costa that I winter sowed. The other plant that is considered a tender perennial here is crespedia, and I tried to overwinter it last year and it did not survive, but it was in an area that had very poor drainage, so that might have been the issue. So I'm going to just leave these plants here and see how they do this winter, and maybe I'll have free plants. The other plant that is actually a perennial, like pretty much everywhere, is yarrow, and I'm going to leave it here because why not? Apparently the colors will soften, so you know this is a pretty good saturated pinky coral color, but apparently you know they start to fade to white as they perennialize. But I'm not opposed to that. I'm going to leave these here as well. So combining the yarrow, crespedia, scabiosa, Rudbeckia, and snapdragons, I have almost 40 feet of flowers that are just going to be free for me to use next year. And then what I'm doing now is I still have some annuals in here, like dill that's not quite ready to be harvested, and some sunflower successions. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to fill in all of the gaps with the fall sown cool flowers that need to be direct seeded. So what I'll do for those plants that I'm going to treat as perennials, I'm just going to treat them like perennials. So I'm going to cut them back at the end of the season a little bit and then leave them alone. And so right now I'm just clearing out some of the plants that are low priority. So that would be the tiny blossom that went to seed way too quick, and the second succession of calendula. Still got some over there that's kind of trying to throw up some more stems. But I'm trying to make as much space as possible. But estimate I have between 20 to 30 feet of open space right now that I can direct sow my cool flowers in. Let's talk about what I'm direct sowing. Definitely doing larkspur. I got my smoky eyes and my giant imperial mix. And then, of course, Purple Queen agrostemma. These all get 6x6. Giant poppy, bupleurum, cress, and bells of Ireland. All going out today. Starting to get kind of close to the danger zone in terms of being too late to sow things. But you know, we're going to give it a try. We're going to see how it goes. So with this direct sowing and then all the seeds that I've started in trays, really we should be doing good, I think. And I do have quite a bit of a different strategy for bulbs for this next spring, and I'll be sharing a video with you on that shortly. Basically, I'm going to put a little bit less emphasis on tulips and sprinkle in some other things that I think will be really nice and profitable. Thanks for watching today's video, and I'll see you next time.